Hey sheepies, it's Chelsea, welcome back to another tutorial. Today is Mayo from Borderlands 2. So she was a lot of fun to film, by the way, cell shading's my fave. So firstly, I've applied all my face makeup, so blush, contour, highlight, and my eyebrows, and I'm going in with a slightly nude colour to apply to my lids and just above my crease. Next, I'm going in with a slightly darker, warm-toned orangey brown colour and putting that in my crease and winging it out a little. Next, I'm going in with a cool-toned brown and putting that all on my lids to start darkening up my eyes, as she has very dark eyes. Next, I'm going in with a navy blue colour on a slightly fluffy brush, and I'm applying that heavily in my crease and to the wing that I've created. Next, I'm darkening up that crease even more with black, and I'm applying that very heavily, and I'm also applying it onto my lid to darken it a lot. I also drag this underneath my lash line, and I use a fluffy brush to blend it out. Next, I'm using this rusty red colour, and I'm placing it just above the black over my crease to create a red looking smoky eye. I'm applying that to my inner corner and the outer wing. I'm using this blue colour to apply to my lips. I had lip balm on before and I just applied it straight on top. So as you can see, I've applied it on top and I'm using varied colours of blue to give me the shade that I want. She has two little dots on her face, and I used the same blue that I used on my lips. I put it on a Q-tip and simply dotted it onto my face. Here I'm using black pencil liner to put onto my waterline, tight line, and onto my lid and winging it out. You don't have to put it on your waterline or tight line if you don't feel comfortable. Putting it simply on your lid and blending it out makes for a really nice dark eye. Here I'm using my black liquid liner to finally start putting in the cell shading on my face. This was a very long, tedious process, and I had a reference photo open for the entirety of me doing this makeup look. Especially for the cell shading, it's super helpful. So here I'm using Tag Body Paint to outline my face. In the reference photo I was looking at, it doesn't have it, but I know throughout the game that her face and contour lines are outlined. Here I'm starting to actually do the body paint of her clothes. You'll see throughout this entire thing that I make a lot of mistakes, but because this is water activated body paint, it's super easy to get rid of. I just used a makeup wipe. Here I'm filling in the panels on her neck piece with grey, as they are not completely black, but they're a slight grey colour. And you'll see that when this grey is wet, it's quite light, but when it dries, it turns to a nice dark grey. This piece took a lot of trial and error. As you can see, my semicircle there was definitely not even, so I had to fix that. But it's a lot of playing around, and symmetry on the body is very difficult, I have found out. Here I'm putting in her like shoulder armor piece. I have no idea. Finally starting to fill in all the color pieces. So I'm starting to fill in the grey. Finally starting to do her enormous tattoo. I used the same method that I did for my lips. I just put down some lip balm all over my arm and then placed the eyeshadow down and just packed it on to make sure it actually stayed. And once you've finished doing your entire tattoo, you can go around with a makeup wipe and get rid of all the lip balm that is still on your arm that's not covered in blue eyeshadow. And obviously if you have blue body paint, use that or a blue eyeliner, but I didn't have either of those things, so I just kind of had to make do with what I owned. I'm finally starting to fill in the yellow part of her bodysuit leotard thing. I obviously did not own yellow body paint, so I used my gold, which actually turned out rather nice. as you can see, I filled in everything gold, and I'm starting to fill in my other arm, which is entirely grey. Here I've finally started all the cell shading on my body. I use the same liquid liner as I used on my face, and again I'm heavily following a reference photo as to what is going on her chest with all the cell shading. Now that I've finished the cell shading, I'm going in and doing the details on her grey bodysuit. I didn't do these all over the grey pieces because that would have taken me forever. Feeling good. Cheers. So here I've started to bring the tattoo down my arm, as a lot of the poses that I wanted to take photos in for involved my hand, so I had to bring the tattoo down the front of my forearm. So now that the cell shading is done, I am now actually shading even more with eyeshadow. So here I'm using the rusty red that we used on our eyes to shade the bits that would have a deeper shadow in it. So say all the dents in her armor, all the folds, creases, corners, stuff like that. So I used for the deeper shadows the rusty red, and for more chill shadows, I'll call them, I used an orange. Now, as you can see, I forgot to add the black border that would separate her suit from her arm, so I just filled that in there. And here I'm putting on my wig. This wig was a ponytail wig, but I took the ponytail off and tried my best to make it look like her little cute bob. So this is it. This is my completed Maya from Borderlands 2 body paint and makeup look. This is honestly the first time I've done like full body painting that's not Enchantress. I have done up to here. This is a t-shirt that I've cropped down. I've done most of this arm. I haven't done all of it, obviously. I've done the parts that you can mainly see when I do a pose. This arm doesn't go down that far, as you can tell. It doesn't go back all the way. It just stops at where it ends as to where I can pose. But yeah, this is a really fun body paint to do. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did. I'm sorry that this is not a tutorial. This is a like speed paint and just showing you the products that I've used. This was more of a how do I word it? I need to grow in my skills, so I'm gonna practice with cool Borderlands characters. That's probably the best way I could describe this. I just wanted to practice and play around with my body paints that I had. Now, as you'll see through the video, I used a lot of different things because I don't own that many face paints. I own the face paints that I have for Enchantress, which are gold, black, green, and brown. And as you can tell, there is a lot more colours that I don't have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. And I love you all your little pretty faces. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!